Welcome back to another almost exciting episode of Joe Catapalia talking about shipping container home construction and tiny homes. Today it's tiny homes. We're putting the shipping container build discussion on the back burner because let's just, face it, that's sort of a train wreck at the moment. We'll get you some updates with that hopefully by the end of the week. But I've got a new architect that I'm pretty happy with for the tiny home. This is it. It's already built. Okay, that's a lie. Hopefully you realized that was a lie, right? I think you did. I pulled this rendering out of one of the plans that she sent over, and I sort of pasted it on the lot. I'm not savvy enough to be able to twist it so it's facing the right way, and I also don't know that that's exactly to scale, but I try to make this door look about the same height as that door, so something like that. It's gonna really fill up the lot. But before we talk too much about that, the important news, if anybody has looked at my YouTube page lately, and if you didn't know where to look, I'm going to give you a little hint here. Wow, right? 50 subscribers. Thank you for whoever you are that are subscribing. I'm sure I don't have 50 friends. So, whether you clicked it by accident or, you lost a bet, whatever it is, I appreciate it. Didn't really expect that many people. I've had a ton of great conversations with people that have found me through here already, or through some of the Facebook groups that I post these in, that are building something similar or trying to build something. So please do keep sharing it, liking it if you're just my friends or family or anybody watching this, because it's getting to people that actually do want to see it, and that it's really a lot of fun for me to talk about these deals with other people that have something, that want to do something similar. Anyway, just wanted to talk to you a little bit. I found it was 2 weeks ago, give or take, that I had, done that video where I had to fire my old architect. I found a new one. It was really just a matter of timing. So this new one, I really like her so far. She told me she would have first draft on Monday. I got a first draft on Monday. This was it. I had sent her, some pictures and some other plans I had bought online. Basically, they were the plans that Rob Built uses. Again, I'm going to figure out how to shout him out. I think I know how to do it now, so I'm going to put that in the comments. I really like his channel. He's definitely doing better videos. So I figured, let me just rip off his property as well, right? He's got the little tiny home out in California. I think he's built it twice now, and it's performing well for him. But it turns out it didn't fit exactly on my lot, so had to change it anyway, had to get an architect. And so now we're making some changes, and we're actually going to add a bedroom. We're going to do all kinds of stuff. So this is the first draft of it. 2 stories, where the upstairs stories is just a bedroom. And a rooftop deck. And on this first plan that she did, and you could see in the rendering, the rooftop deck was facing the road, which is also the opposite of the downtown side. And so that was my biggest complaint about this, is we needed to move it to where the 2 stories are in the front of the property. The other thing, just knowing my builder, he wasn't going to be very happy about this little bump out here. So we actually are widening the whole thing. I think building it square is actually just going to be easier, even if it's a little bit more square footage, than trying to do something a little bit more interesting like this. The other thing is, this was just giving me a very small bathroom wall, and I'm not sure if we've talked about, this one is going to be used for a short-term rental, and it's going to be ramen themed, planning on providing like 50, maybe 40 or 50 different varieties of packaged ramen there. So one of the things that I'm doing is I got this provider who does these mosaic tiles, and so this is going to be a 3x3 foot tile that's basically a computer, like, in a little robot arm puts each one of these here and makes this. I think I might have showed this, but I need room to put this on a wall, and so I want a full-size bathtub, and then blam, right there. That might be a little weird, but I don't know. I thought this was just the coolest idea when I met this guy that does these. Doing something like that in the tile work. I don't know. I haven't seen it anywhere I've stayed. Yeah, I actually, I have seen like these mosaic tile things like in casinos and really nice hotels and stuff like that. But so, in this little tiny home that's in, on the west side of town, it's just gonna be, it's gonna be. I'm excited about it. Obviously, I can't even make a whole sentence. But so, I had talked to her about moving that to the front, pushing that in. Also about, the distance for this TV, because, we like to put big TVs in our units. And then you can't sit too close or you don't get a good viewing experience. I've seen a lot of times in tiny homes, you see a TV and it's like 3 feet away from your face. And if it's a big TV, you're not really watching it. You're watching a corner of it. I also mentioned, we got to cram king-size beds into here. So, she said, hey, I'm going to have a draft for you tonight or tomorrow. And bam, I got a draft the next day, which was, it just doesn't seem like how this is supposed to work. I mean, I was very excited about that. And really everything moved. So you can see the 2 stories is now on the front end. To achieve that and to put the stairs here, she had to turn the kitchen sideways and shorten it up a bit. But that left room over here to move the bathroom. We widened the whole thing, and so that's why there's still room for the bedroom, but the wider bathroom. We get the great TV shot here, like the enough room so then we can put something really big in here. Which is important for these short-term rentals. We almost always have at least one big TV, or usually just one big TV. Obviously, having the only eating space is going to be right at the counter. I think it's kind of cool, all the little ramen bars, at least the ones I see in Naruto, which is most of my experience. They always have stools there, so I think that's pretty good. And then I'm going to get these, I should have put a picture in here, but there's these like big pillows that are like floor sitting pillows, but that have a picture of a ramen bowl in them. Going to put those, we'll stack them up in this corner, and then when we want to, people can bring them out here to sit. On the second floor, we're going to do a huge rooftop deck. And again, this is the side that's more oriented towards downtown. I think if you really are looking like this direction, that's where the downtown view would be. There's a tree here, but, there's only so much we're going to do with that. But one of the things, I had really been asking her to constrain the size, because I want to make sure I can really still call it a tiny home. At this point, I think it's going to be a not quite tiny home, but it will seem tiny to anybody who lives in a normal house. But somebody who lives in a tiny home on wheels is going to come in here and say, this is a mansion. Why are you calling this a tiny home? So anyway, and I think that was sort of her main motivation for keeping this top story really small. But, doing this bump in here, really, if we just do it as a square, I think it's going to be, move that wall to there and then move the bedroom wall again like that. I've already talked to her about this. I think this is what we're actually going to do. Maybe move the water heater to this spot here. But I mean, after just one conversation with the first set of plans, she made all these changes, and it's really almost exactly what I want. And she was sticking with my constraints, right, as far as keeping the square footage small. But I think adding in these square feet isn't really going to cost us anything, because building the wall like this versus building them in, it's not too much difference, right? Like, I mean, you're still building the same amount of wall. So I think, we'll get a lot more room in here. You can see we've got the king size beds, just barely squeezing them in on this. In this one, I think once we do this bump, this will fit even better. But that's gonna be about it. I think we make those changes, and then we send them over to the engineer and start that process. I don't know. Let me know what you think. If there's anything you see on here that you'd want to do differently. If you've got any good shots of one of those pixelated mosaic tiles, I'd love to see it somewhere, because I just thought that was kind of a neat idea. Anyway, though, yeah, let me see. Oh, and so I didn't show you what the new rendering looks like, so bam! All right, but that's a little bit in your face. Probably won't be in the road. It's not quite tiny, so I'm going to move it back a little bit there. Try, just ask you to tickle the like button now. A lot of people tell you to smash it. I actually broke my like button for a little while, so I don't recommend smashing it. But if you could just tickle that, I'd appreciate it. And yeah, until next time. Well, let me see. Anyway, let me know what you think about this new look, though. I would appreciate that. Other than that, until next time, I will keep making mistakes so that you don't have to. Yep, this is always awkward. I'm sorry.